in Kentucky that he had a house on.
Yep.
Boy, it was beautiful. Had a great time.
Man.
Stayed on a houseboat. But you know, it was you do. Well, Coach, I tell you what. Hey, let's talk about what guys should be doing when they get back from their 4th of July vacation. And basically, I base the parameters a lot off of the calendar that is in Georgia. So you guys that maybe coach in other states that have a different calendar, of course, adjust it to fit your needs in your situation. But normally, you know, August 1st is going to be the first day that you can practice officially. That's right. Of course, you're doing a lot of stuff in July. We all understand that. And you're probably going to have, nowadays with the school calendar, that first week of August, you're probably going to be in school. You're probably going to have either pre-planning or you're going to have a first week of school. Maybe your pre-planning is the last week of July or something like that. And then probably your first game is going to be, you know, probably that 3rd Friday in August, your first official game. Some people play the 2nd Friday in August.
Yeah, we used to have a preseason game.
Yeah, we do too in Georgia. We do too.
But we used to adjust our practice times because I had a lot of teachers on my coaching staff. So when we knew we had that week of training, we practice really early in the morning.
Right.
We just get it set up where we can get the lights put on, we line the field, whatever, and we practice, from like, we'd have to show up at 5:30. Yes. And we'd be done in enough time to take a shower and get to the teachers' preseason training. Well,
I think that's ultra important, and I think a lot of young coaches, assistant coaches and head coaches, really miss the boat. I know I struggled with it when I was a young coach.
Oh, I ain't no doubt.
That it's pre-planning. You trying to get ready, but then you got football camp going on at the same time, football practice, and guys, I'm gonna tell you something. You really need to try to be at as many of the pre-planning meetings and do as much of the pre-planning stuff as possible. Even if that means you've got to work ahead, like maybe you have to go in your classroom in July and get things started.
That's right.
Because you just don't want the other teachers and the administration to get a bad taste in their mouth about football coaches and, well, they're not here, they're at practice and this, that, and the other. I think camp is very important, and I think based on your calendar, you need to have a couple of days where you can call it old school football camp, where you can kind of get away a little bit and do some things like we used to do. It, back in the day, it used to be a whole week, but I think now we didn't do as much in the summer when we were players. No. We lifted. We had a little 7-on-7 maybe, but we didn't have the organized programs they got now. Like I know in Georgia, they got padded camp, they got OTAs, they're going to other schools.
Padded camps, it's 7-on-7 tournaments all over the place, it's football camps all over the place. Really, we just kind of ran and lifted.
Yeah, we ran and lifted. And when you showed up for fall camp, you had to be in shape.
You had to be in shape.
And you had to have so many days checked off. You came in the summer to lift. And,
that's right.
And stuff like
that.
But
another thing about being available at those the preseason teacher meetings is when you're there every day on time, showing up, participating. That helps you with the teachers dealing with your players.
No doubt.
They're not saying the teachers are, oh man, well he ain't never around, he's not doing nothing, so I'm not gonna look out for him or let him know in advance when his player is failing.
That's right.
Or I'm not gonna try to help give him extra things to do to bring his grades up. You have to always have a great relationship.
Yes.
With the employees and the teachers, the cafeteria people.
Yes, no doubt.
The cleaning people.
No doubt.
Because those cleaning people will help you line your field.
Yeah, absolutely.
They'll help you wash your clothes.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? But if you're not being, gracious to them and showing them and speaking to them and giving them attention, I'd give them shirts.
Hey, listen.
I give them hats.
I was about to say, guys, listen. When you go to place your order, set your budget, you include those cleaning people in there.
That's right.
Hey, that cafeteria lady, you get them.
That's right.
Hey, you get them a hat, get them a shirt, a little T-shirt. It'll be the best money you spent. I promise you.
They'll do your pregame meal for you.
Exactly. That budget, that's part of your budget. That's some of the best money you can spend.
Yes, sir.
Well, Coach, let's get here to the when we come back from 4th of July and say this year, that first week, July 8th through 13th. One thing that I always want to do was finalize my fall camp master schedule.
Yes, sir.
And I wanted to plan a couple of days, whether it be 2 to 3 days, where I could get the team out of town get their mind on nothing but football.
That's right.
Practice, of course, you can't practice 3 a days every day like we used to be able to.
Right.
But it's like you said, Coach, you can meet.
Yes.
You can walk through. You can
team
bonding activities. There's all kind of things you can do at camp.
Yeah.
And I think it's important for you to get that done before pre-planning.
Yep.
And obviously if you're planning on going somewhere, you should have already have planned that and everything. But
let me throw something in right there.
Go ahead. Talk to me.
I'm a former Florida high school head coach. He from where the big money at. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, we slept in the gym a lot of days.
Hey,
we didn't go out of town all the time.
I get it, bro, but man, like it's really amazing. And this is a topic for a whole other, podcast. But bro, Georgia really does high school football right.
They do.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be honest with you. Florida.
I'm biased, but I think it's most organized football in the country. I know some guys in Texas would disagree, but I'm just telling you from the way they take care of you.
Yes.
The way that the programs are run and everything. Yes. They are really on top of things in the state of Georgia.
Yeah, I got to give y'all props, man. I'm not knocking Florida. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes I feel like in the state of Florida for the athletes we produce.
Right.
The coaches just aren't, and the high school programs aren't taking it serious.
Well, I think the thing too is and we can talk about it here. Mm-hmm. Florida coaches are not paid as good as Georgia coaches are. No. There's a lot of Florida coaches trying to move up to Georgia and coach football.
Happens all the time.
And the retirement system's better in Georgia, which I think is one of the best in the country. Mm-hmm. And I think it's just a situation where where you've invested your money is where you're going to get your benefits. So I'm going to tell you what, my hat's off to you guys at coaching Florida, man, because I'm going to tell you right now, some of the salaries I hear that them guys are making, I can't believe guys are putting in that much time and effort into it. And
no doubt.
And you're right, for the athletes that come out of that state, could you imagine if things were, a little different.
I'm sorry, I keep digressing, but
that's okay.
I just had to get that one out.
There ain't no doubt about that. But like I say, I think, and like I said, we brought air mattresses to the gym,
no doubt,
and fed them right there, and kept them with us, and spent a couple nights in the gym, and then have our practice times and camp, and just like you say, I think that you got to have that finalized. Another thing, guys, it's a big one, and I can tell you right now, too many coaches wait till later in July to do this, and that's confirming player eligibility paperwork. Get that turned in the week you come back from July 4th. You want that off your plate, man.
Yes.
Because I'm going to tell you something. You don't have time once you get closer to August to do that.
Yep.
It slips
Somebody
up
gonna
on
miss
you.
out. Somebody gonna miss out. You're not gonna be able to save them.
Right. And the thing about it is your initial due date. You don't have to play around with that. And here's another thing: if you do have a kid that moves in later in July and you got to fill out a transfer paperwork for him, that paperwork takes a long time. You'll spend as much time on one kid that transferred as you will your whole roster that was with you the year before.
Yes, sir.
So I would go ahead and get that knocked out. And I'm going to tell you something, head coaches. This is an opportunity. If you a veteran head coach, and this is an opportunity to let a coordinator, assistant head coach kind of guy, a guy that is going to be a head coach one day, let him help you with this.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Obviously, you need to check the work, and you need to make sure it's correct. But as far as some of the data input and things like that, this is a great opportunity to let a young coach that's trying to move up the ladder help you and everything.
Definitely.
So, and listen, not only eligibility, but like physical paperwork, forms, academic clearance, all that stuff. Make sure you got all that taken care of.
And then try your best to contact parents, because where I coached at, there were times where I wouldn't meet a kid be with me 4 years, and their parent never showed up, never picked them up or dropped them off. The first time I would see them was at senior night.
Right.
And I tell you, it broke my heart every time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, make sure you do everything you can. And I used to invite my parents to a practice,
Right.
like a Thursday practice, like once every couple weeks.
And I think this is a good week too to go ahead and have your preseason parent meeting scheduled.
Yes.
Go ahead and tell them ahead of time.
You
Let
have to
them
have
know, hey, I want everybody here. You know, and you know, talk to your kids about getting their parents here. And guys, you already know the kids that have the parents that may not be as apt to show up. So, you know, there again, have his position coach. If you don't have time on your plate, have his